humans are not able to predict them. But this is not what an intrinsically probabilistic universe means in the context of quantum mechanics. It literally means that at any given moment in time, the future numbers in this sequence don't yet exist. In other words, the future numbers are not knowable even to the hypothetical observer outside the universe. This shatters the very notion of a block universe, since the block universe theory states the entire timeline has always existed from the beginning, and an external observer would be able to see it. The idea that even an observer external to our universe would not be able to predict the future is not merely a metaphysical supposition. There are empirical observations and scientific experiments we can make which address this issue. Consider, for example, the spins of an entangled pair of particles. In classical physics, the spin of a particle can be described by an arrow pointing along the axis of rotation. Particles spinning in opposite directions will have their arrows pointed in opposite directions. In quantum mechanics, we can only measure the spin along one axis at a time. We will refer to the results as either pointing towards the red plate or pointing towards the blue plate. In our pair of entangled particles, suppose we measure the spin of each particle only once. If we measure the spins of our two entangled particles along the same axis, the two particles will measure opposite spins 100% of the time. If we measure the spin of one particle along the x-axis, and we measure the spin of its partner along the y-axis, the two particles will measure opposite spins 50% of the time. These facts are not mysterious. What is mysterious is what happens when one of the two detectors is oriented in the diagonal configuration, offset by 45 degrees from the other detector. In this case, the two particles measure opposite spins approximately 85% of the time. This result has been experimentally verified many times. Many physicists view this result as evidence that the future cannot be predicted, even by an observer external to our universe. The reason